Hey guys, MasterFiggy here, bringing you another video, and in this one, it's going to be a very strange deck, guys. We have Hawkmon coming back here, in the deck profile. I just think Hawkmon was just really, he really got the short end of the stick when they introduced the Armor Digimon in BT8, compared to Armadillomon and Vmon. I was just looking through the Hawkmon Digivolution cards as well, and it just got me thinking, you know, what could actually, like, what synergy could you really do with this deck, or these cards, I mean? And I just kind of thought Imperialdramon, and I'll show you why. Now, this is not a deck that I'm claiming is amazing or anything like that. This is a deck that I just think could be a fun, really weird deck, so you'll see what I mean when we go through it. So first off for the Digitomas, we're playing one Demi-Meramon from BT6. So while this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 1000 for the turn. So that's our one of. And then the 4 of, we have Gurimon, which is when attacking, if this Digimon has 6000 DP or more, you can draw a card. You could use the Demi-Meramon if you want to play 4 of this, or any other of the Digitama, red Digitamas, you'll play around with it. I just thought the Gurimon would be good because you're more likely to be swinging in with our much stronger leveled Digimon than you would be with our rookies, let's say. So that's it for the Digitamas. Next up, we are playing 4 of the BT8 Hawkmon. So on play, reveal the top 4 cards of your deck, and you add one 2-color red card. Now, that is not specifically a red 2-color Digimon. It is a red dual colored card, so it could be an option Digimon or Tamer, which is a key part to take note of. And next up, we are also playing 4 of the vanilla Hawkmon. These are the only 2 Hawkmons that we have in the game so thus far, but these are what we are working with for our red rookies. Next up, we are playing 4 of the ST9 Vmon, which was from the Imperialdramon starter deck. And on play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with free in its traits among them, and add it to your hand. And then you place the remaining cards at the bottom of your deck in any order. So all our Digimon actually have free in their traits, I believe. I did make sure, I'm pretty sure I made sure that all of them have free in their traits. So this is a very good card to have. It is a bit annoying. I think this card alone is actually a little bit pricey, but I would recommend picking up that Imperialdramon deck if you can. If you can only pick up 1 copy of the deck, you will only get 2 of this Vmon, but I do recommend trying out the blue, the BT9 Vmon if you can. Or sorry, not BT9, BT8, sorry, Vmon. 2 copies of that if you can't get 2 more copies of this. Just because it won't be as good as this one, but it's still good search power. Next up, we are going on to the level 4s, and we have 4 Hawkmon. So this can digivolve for 2 off of our Hawkmons. And when attacking, you get to delete 1 of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Next up, we are also playing 3 of Shurimon, and this is another one that can digivolve off of Hawkmon for 2, and when digivolving, 1 of your opponent's Digimon with blocker can't attack or block until the end of your opponent's next turn. Now that may not come up too often, but digivolving for 2 off of Hawkmon is really nice, and also it's these are the 2 Digimon that I just kind of thought the synergy with these 2, with the blue, and the green, would work with Imperialdramon. Again, I'm not claiming this is an amazing deck, but yeah, I'll talk more about that later on. Next up, we're playing 2 Flamedramon. You could actually play more of this, so if you wanted to drop down the Hawkmon to 3 and put this at 3, but the reason why I wouldn't is because with Hawkmon, you have 8 targets, 4 of each Hawkmon, and with the Flamedramon, what we have here, we only have 4 targets. But Flamedramon is still very good. He can still digivolve off of Hawkmon and Vmon because he has up here he can digivolve off of red Digimon, and Hawkmon can digivolve off of blue Digimon, so it can digivolve off of Vmon, which is still very nice. And when attacking, this Digimon gains 3000 for the turn, so you can gain that with the Gurimon Digitama, which is very nice. So it'll gain it'll give us a draw 1. And next up, we are playing 2 of the Stingmon from the starter deck, the Imperialdramon. The reason why I'm only playing 2 of this and 3 of the Shurimon is because it's the same reason with the Flamedramon and the Hulsmon. Stingmon can only digivolve off of Vmon in this deck, whereas Shurimon can digivolve off of the 2 versions of Hawkmon. So that's it for the champions, guys. Also, the other thing about Stingmon is, when on play, you get to decrease the cost by 1 if you have a blue Digimon in play, and then when attacking, if you have a blue Digimon in play, you get to draw a card. That's an inheritable ability. So onto the level 5s, we have Imperialdramon, probably one of the most insane cards from the Imperialdramon starter deck. So you DNA Digivolve, which is 1 blue and 1 green level 4, and when DNA Digivolving, you get to return one of your opponent's Digimon with 6000 DP or less to the bottom of the opponent's deck, and then when attacking once per turn, unsuspend this Digimon, which is pretty nice, you have to admit. It's such a strong Digimon, really. And a lot of people use it with I think it's the EX1X Vmon that has the jamming and the inheritable ability of jamming, which is insane when people usually use that. And I would have put that X Vmon in the deck, but most of the time I could see myself hard playing it, and hard playing a level 4 for 5, and we're trying to reduce that as much as possible considering the level 4s we have already. We're also playing 3 of the Dino Beamon from the starter deck. So when digivolving, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then when DNA digivolving, that Digimon doesn't unsuspend during its owner's next unsuspend phase. So to get the full benefit of it, you do need to DNA digivolve, but if you're just regular digivolving, it can still be good. And then its inheritable is this Digimon gets plus 1000 for each of its colors, which is pretty nice. Then we are playing 3 of the Imperialdramon from the starter deck. So when digivolving, you may play 1 level 4 or lower blue Digimon, and or 1 level 4 or lower green Digimon card from this card's Digivolution cards without paying its memory cost. That is insane, guys. Imagine just playing this card out, and you could just bring back 2 of these. It's pretty nuts, and that's it's no wonder that it's been in meta format. So many people have been playing Imperialdramon for the good while, I must say. I haven't actually played Imperialdramon myself. I'm a little bit tempted, but I'm not really one to just play it just because a lot of other people are. There are decks that I am currently working on, but I am kind of tempted to test this deck out, I'm not going to lie. We're also playing 1 of the Imperialdramon Fighter mode. So I put this in because of when digivolving, you get to return opponent's Digimon with 10,000 DP or less to the owner's hand. And then when attacking once per turn, if a blue card is in this card's Digivolution cards, you get to unsuspend 1 of your Digimon. And if a green card is in this card's Digivolution cards, suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon. So that is pretty awesome. So imagine having the Dino Beamon under this. You're basically swinging in with 15,000 DP, and then you can just swing in twice with this. That's pretty nuts. So that's it for the Digimon, guys, and then we have for the options, we're playing 1 Ice Wall because that's all we have, and then we are playing 1 Hammer Spark. You could play more, swapping some of these cards out, and we'll get through that, but I thought 1 Hammer Spark was alright for now. Then, because we are playing red, we also have Gaia Force. We're playing 3 of it. This is very nice. I've seen a lot of people bring back Gaia Force. You can play the option card, the blue-green one, I can't think of it off the top of my head, from the starter deck. A lot of people use that as well. But because you'll have red Digitamas, a lot of the time, I think Gaia Force is still good to use. You can also, I'm also using 2 of the offensive plugin A. You can use Fire Rocket because it has a similar effect, but the reason why I'm choosing to use this is because if you do choose to use it on your rookies and Stingmon, and usually you wouldn't, but I'm just saying in situations where you might, this has more targets than to hit, and also it's a security ability, which is reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you get to add 1 Tamer card among them to your hand. And then you get to add it to your hand as well once it's been revealed. Fire Rocket, I believe, is just sent to the graveyard. It also deletes a blocker that your opponent has, but it's not too often that your opponent has a blocker. In most games that I've played, at least. Then we are playing one of my favorite cards because of the artwork, and that is a Delicate Plan. So one of your Digimon gains. This Digimon doesn't activate security effects of any option cards it checks for the turn, which is pretty nice. So basically, for those who don't understand, usually if you hit in security and you hit a Gaia Force, let's say, then your opponent can activate this ability and delete your Digimon. But if you activated a Delicate Plan, that Digimon doesn't activate the Gaia Force, it just becomes a dud. So it is a pretty strong card. Then we are playing 1 Top Gun. So this I thought was a cool idea. So delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 4000 DP or less, and if you have a Digimon with 2 or more colors, or with 2 or more colors in one of its Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 7000 DP or less instead. So for 3 costs, deleting a possible 7000 DP Digimon is pretty nice, I think. I would say you could even reduce the plugin A if you wanted, or even the Delicate Plan, put in another one of these Top Guns, or even if you just want to play 2 Gaia Force and then 2 of the Top Gun, because maybe you may not come across too many Digimon that are over 7k, possibly like an early game kind of situation, and you want to use the Top Gun to sort of slow down your opponent's play. That is also, that's perfectly fine to do. I just thought it's an interesting card, and you don't see it used too often, or at least I don't. And then for the Tamers, we are playing 2 Davis. It might seem weird because we're using a lot more of the red cards, but you're still using a lot of blue cards as well. Like, the only ones that you can't get off the Davis are the Hawkmons. Like, every other card here you'll see is a blue-green card. So that is still really relevant. Like, Davis is still relevant in this deck. Next up, we are having 3 of the Davis and Ken, because if you have a blue Digimon in play, you gain a memory, and if you have a green Digimon, you gain a memory. And then when one of my Digimon digivolves into a Digimon with 2 or more colors, you may suspend this Tamer to unsuspend that Digimon, which can be very nice to use. And then we are also playing 1 copy of the tie from the original red starter deck. Because it's a 2 cost, I think the ability to just boost up our Digimon is nice, and also I just think just having that as a little bit of a backup can be nice. Let's just say that if we didn't have a Digitama revealed, and we brought it out of the breeding area, and let's just say we were digivolving into like Imperialdramon or something like that, there is a situation that could possibly happen. So it's just nice to have that little bit of security, and plus you get that 1000 boost, which can also affect the Gurimon here. So the Hawkmon can also activate the ability of drawing that card for us if we need to. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck, guys. It's a stupid deck. Like, it's not a deck I'm claiming is amazing or anything like that, but just imagine your opponent's face, like, you slap down that Davis, and you had like a red Digitama revealed. they would have no idea what the hell you're playing. And then you like reveal like this Hawkmon and like Shurimon and like Stingmon or something like that. Like that would just really confuse them, and they would just have no idea. And I would just love to see like someone's face just using this deck on them. Um, yeah, like it's a deck that I feel like would just be kind of like a gimmick thing to try out at a locals, and I kind of would like to try this deck out. It's not as good, I think, as the other Hawkmon deck that I did a video on, but I do think that it could be a fun one to try out. Now, I do think there is a definitely like a better way of using Hawkmon in a deck, and I actually have like physically built a Hawkmon deck that would be better. It might need a couple of tweaks, alright, but it's still a very competent deck. It's a lot better than the previous Hawkmon video that I did. So if you guys want to see that, please let me know in the comments down below. Hit the like button. There are other decks that I do want to show. Like I said, this is just a fun gimmick deck that I just sort of thought of. And you know what, if you guys do try this deck out, please tell me how it went. I doubt many of you would, because I'm sure most people want to win their games. But seriously, if you guys actually use this deck, I think it would be amazing if you guys told me how it went on. Or if some people like recorded their matches, that'd be fun to watch as well. But with that said, I want to thank you guys for watching the video. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed. Subscribe to stay up to date with more videos that I will have in the future. And I will see you guys next time. Goodbye and thank you.